The following are the key points to the takeoff briefing. 1. Nominate the pilot flying. 2. Review the use of anti-ice and bleeds. 3. Review MEL items. 4. Review speeds, power setting, configuration and trim. Make use of the MCDU and PFD. 5. Review the runway state and the surface wind. 6. Review takeoff limitations. 7. Review actions and task sharing in the event of failures. This is only necessary for the first flight of the day. 8. Review routing in the event of failures. 9. Complete the remainder of the briefing regarding the departure routing. We should now have a better technical understanding of the issues involved in the rejected takeoff scenario. Let's see how we can put that knowledge to practical use in the simulator training environment. My colleagues, training captains Harry Clark and Frank Crowell, will demonstrate 6 examples. You may observe that we use different types of the Airbus family of aircraft to demonstrate these examples. That's because the techniques involved are basically common to them all.
Tower, Fox Tango, ready for departure, runway 26 left.
Let us now look at these 6 examples of failures during the takeoff. Firstly, a runway limited takeoff with an ECAM warning in the low speed regime, that is, below 100 knots.
Speedbird 412, count weak behind the departing Airbus.
Clear for takeoff to 6 left, Fox Tango.
Takeoff. Speedbird 412, behind the departing Airbus, line up and wait 26 left. Line up and wait 26 left, Speedbird 412.
Flex SRS runway.
Monarch 419, hold at position Alpha. Hold at Alpha, Monarch 419.
Master caution.
Stop.
80. Reverse green. Tower, Fox Tango, stopping.
Roger, Fox Tango, do you need assistance?
Negative.
Negative.
Fox Tango, roger, next right and expedite, please.
Roger. Electric generator 1 fault.
Hold the ACAM till we've cleared the runway.
Roger.
Note that in this case, the captain disarmed the max auto brake for passenger comfort, as stopping within the available distance was not critical. If the fault could be rectified, the aircraft could return for another takeoff, subject to the brakes being below the maximum permissible temperature for takeoff. Key points. 1. There are more reasons to stop below 100 knots, that is in the low speed regime, than in the high speed regime. 2. Crew coordination and task sharing. 3. Disconnect max auto brake for passenger comfort if it is not required to ensure safe stopping. 4. A new takeoff may be performed when the defect is rectified and sufficient brake energy is available. Example 2. In this example, a tyre bursts at V1 minus 10 knots. Notice we are now in the high speed regime between 100 knots and V1. Again, it is a runway limited takeoff. The captain's decision is to go.
Fox Alpha Bravo, clear for takeoff 15 right.
Takeoff. Thrust SRS runway.
Power set. Hundred.
Check. Go. Toga.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear leave down, please.
Note for clear command following the tyre burst. Go. Note also that he selected toga thrust in this case to improve the takeoff performance. The aircraft climbs away safely. The crew suspect wheel and tyre damage, so they elect to leave the gear down. The aircraft climb performance in this situation meets obstacle requirements, providing no engine problem exists or occurs. Note, had the captain decided to stop, the aircraft would have probably overrun the end of the runway, as less than maximum braking capacity was available. Key points. 1. If a tyre failure occurs close to V1 on a runway limit takeoff, it's better to go. 2. Crew coordination. The captain calls go. 3. Application of toga to improve takeoff performance. Caution if engine damage is suspected. 4. Leave the gear down if you have no doubts about the climb performance. 5. Coordinate with the cabin crew and the airport for the return. 6. Plan the approach and landing, jettison or burn off fuel if required to reduce the aircraft weight. 7. The full length of the runway is now available for a stop at a lighter weight and a lower speed. Example 3. In this case, a runway limit takeoff is being performed. An engine fire occurs at V1 minus 10 knots. The standard stop technique is used and the aircraft brought to a halt on the runway.
Have the runway clear. And take off. Toga, SRS runway.
Power set. Headed.
Check.
Engine fire.
Stop.
Inboard reverse green. Tower Alpha India stopping.
Roger, Alpha India.
80 knots.
Alpha India, I confirm fire on the right side.
Roger. Engine 4 fire.
ECAM action.
Key points. 1. Prompt decision before V1. 2. Stop action taken by V1. 3. Good crew coordination and task sharing. 4. If necessary, maximum reverse may be used until the aircraft stops. 5. Prompt evaluation of a situation when the aircraft is stopped. Example 4. In the next case, an engine failure occurs at V1 minus 15 knots on a runway limited takeoff. Stop is correctly called by the captain. The auto brakes are unserviceable as per the MEL. Therefore, the captain has to promptly apply maximum braking effort through the rudder pedals. It must be emphasized that maximum braking is achieved with the pedals fully depressed. The pressure necessary to apply maximum braking is approximately 90 pounds or 40 kilos. This can be a demanding exercise, particularly if crosswinds or other problems cause directional control difficulties.
Engine failure.
Stop!
No auto brake. Reverse green. 80 knots. Tower, Fox Tango, stopping.
Fox Tango, roger.
Once the aircraft is brought to a stop, the captain orders any appropriate ECAM drills, in this case relating to the engine failure. Also important are considerations regarding brake temperatures and the risk of brake fire. Key points. 1. Prompt failure recognition. 2. Good crew coordination. 3. Use of maximum manual braking until a safe stop is assured. 4. Again, reverse thrust may be used until the aircraft stops if necessary. 5. Actions when the aircraft is stopped. Example 5. In this example, we see the effect of the application of dry runway data when the takeoff is actually made on a wet runway. Again, the scenario is a dry runway limit takeoff. An engine failure occurs at V1 minus 5 knots. The pressure is on the crew to take off by their ATC prescribed departure time, a common event in today's crowded airspace. The error chain is completed by the crew, who succumb to the pressure, even though they are aware of the changing conditions.
It started raining.
Oh yes, it's looking quite black over there, isn't it? Could get quite heavy in a minute.
Human factors play a major part in aircraft incidents and accidents.
Fox Tango, your departure clearance expires in 1 minute. Can you accept immediate takeoff?
Affirmative.
Affirmative, Fox Tango, we can.
Fox Tango, cleared immediate takeoff, runway 20, traffic crossing the outer marker.
Roger, clear immediate takeoff, runway 20, Fox Tango.
I can see the traffic on final. Checklist below the line, please.
Okay, auto brake.
Max.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Backs.
On.
Before takeoff, checklist below the line.
Fox Tango, expedite your departure, please.
Fox Tango, roger.
Okay, the
Right,
traffic
clear.
looks quite close. Okay. Just give me the windscreen wiper, would you please, Frank?
Okay. Fast.
Yep.
Fast.
Takeoff.
Fox Tango, rolling.
Fox Tango, roger. Air France 512 behind, the departing aircraft cleared to land, runway 20, surface wind calm.
Flex SRS runway.
Power set. Hundred.
Check.
Engine failure.
Stop.
Reverse green. Mayday. Fox Tango is overrunning the runway.
Fox Tango, roger.
80.
In this case, although the correct stop action is taken, the aircraft overruns the runway.
On-ground emergency evacuation checklist, please.
Key points. 1. Always use takeoff data that reflects the real world. 2. Don't be pressurized into accepting a takeoff clearance when the conditions have changed. 3. Be aware of human factors and break the error chain. Example 6. Again, a runway limited takeoff. In this case, an engine failure occurs at V1 minus 5 knots. A go decision is made.
Thrust, SRS, runway.
Power set. Hundred.
Check.
Engine failure.
Go.
V1. Rotate.
The aircraft takes off safely in the remaining runway length.
Toga.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
We will note the radio altitude as the runway end is passed. Key points. 1. With loss of thrust just before V1, the go decision will allow a safe takeoff with reduced clearance margins. 2. This decision is up to the captain according to circumstances and is not necessarily an Airbus recommendation. This completes the rejected takeoff video presentation. We hope that you have enjoyed it.